Good morning. Got a couple of headlines to get caught up on before we delve into the matrix. Did you know that Epstein invested in Peter Thiel's companies early on before how they say it, the rest is history? Well, one of you sent this to me. Jeffrey Epstein's hidden wealth exposed. Not only was it Jeffrey Epstein's wealth, but a significant portion of it. In other words, Epstein was given the memo to invest in a particular individual, Peter Thiel, which of course hired Trump's vice president and gave him $15 million for his Senate campaign. And we also come to understand that Jeffrey Epstein got the memo and also invested in Peter Thiel, Valor Ventures, from 2015 to 2016. This was the year before Trump's first term. Trump was on the campaign trail. And we found connections of Peter Thiel going back to Trump's first term. They were already setting up the technocracy, the police state, and everything else that's come along with this. Now, I want to be clear here. There are a couple of people that I guess didn't do well in school, learning how to listen to someone's complete statement before they say it. And the only thing that they picked out of yesterday's show was that I said that the illegals didn't do anything wrong. Well, that's not what I said. Of course, if you come here illegally, you're here illegally. The problem is Trump sold everybody on going only after the violent criminals. Then he later changed that to now just ankle monitoring, electronic monitoring of all illegals, even though he's letting a lot of them stay in the country. And I clearly said in yesterday's show that this needs to happen, that we need to go after the illegals. But I also expressed my concern about this as being the testing grounds or the proving grounds to come after the rest of us group by group, whoever they decide is an enemy of the state. And the proof of my statement is that Trump just launched Project Gotham by Palantir, which is an AI pre-crime that takes all of your private data, American citizens, not illegals, American citizens, and goes through all your personal information and then decides, oh, you needed to buy a bag of fertilizer for your garden. Oh, that's bomb making material. And you get a knock at your door of people who you don't even know. You pull out your gun to defend your property because you have no idea that armed men are coming to your house, and there goes your life. And then to cover it all up, they just simply say, oh, that person was making bomb making material. Don't the rest of you want to be safe? And then they can pin any other evidence they want to onto you so that they're innocent of killing you. That's what I was saying yesterday. I wasn't trying to say that it was wrong or that illegals didn't do anything wrong by coming over here illegally. That wasn't the point of the show yesterday. So, things have gotten really crazy, you guys. And myself, I've learned to be a little bit more private in my private life. I think the window to try to help other people understand how to be as far away from all this madness as you can is kind of coming to a close. And I'm not claiming that I have maintained complete privacy in my life in terms of the government. Of course, they know who I am. Why do you think I'm careful how I say things? So that, hey, if they want to cross that line, they can cross it. But guess what? They're going to be exposed when they cross the line, right? This is why you never hear me call for violence. This is why you always hear me give the credit to the Most High. And you always understand that this is a spiritual battle. They can never say, oh, he started a cult, or, oh, he's telling people to violence. This is why I'm very careful about how I word everything. And it's all about peace, and it's all about privacy. No one can argue with the privacy aspect to all this, right? So I hope some of you can understand. I've had to kind of, I don't know. We'll get into that on another day, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an explanation of this particular point in my life where I'm at, where I'm starting to value my public privacy, because there are crazy people out there that are mad at me because I'm exposing Trump, right? And all it takes is one person, right? So this stuff is real. I had some very upset people yesterday. Oh, you're just making a bunch of money dogging Trump. You step into my shoes and work for minimum wage is what I average. And you add up the hours, nobody could do this job for a minimum wage with all the time that I put into this. So it's not like I'm on here racking up a bunch of money by going after Trump. No, in fact, my life's in danger, isn't it? And how many people do you know who are willing to stand up for what they believe in publicly at risk to their life and their friends? Not many people are willing to do that. Most people just go to a regular job where they can't even talk about these things. And their life is all nice and secure as long as they fill out Republican or Democrat on the ballot. And they believe that they have some kind of control or that they're making some kind of change in this world, but they're absolutely not. And I'm not trying to minimize people who go to a 9-to-5 job. That's not the point of this either. The point is that step into my shoes, right? Step into my shoes. And you do this for 12 years, still averaging well below minimum wage. And I don't think anybody could last that long. So I'm here for the right reasons, was the reason for that little intro there. Now, Trump appears to have picked up the Palantir Peter Thiel football, hasn't he? And this is our future, you guys. Here we go. It's escalating, as I said it would. Government drones used in runaway spying operation to peek into the backyards in Sonoma County. Now, they always do this under the guise of law enforcement, don't they? Oh, it's because people could be doing things illegally. But here's the problem. Let's read this article because this is very, very important. And then we'll get into the show today, but I just needed to say a couple things, okay? Now, we all know they legalized cannabis in California. And the minute they did that, up went the drones. They started spying on people. They started, you have to have special permits to be able to grow cannabis. The cannabis farmers were not happy. Most of them went out of business or were bought up by corporations. They just couldn't keep up with the legal part of all this. You had to check in with federal agents. They can come anytime they want. Look on your land, make sure you have the number of plants you said you did. You can no longer put this money in a bank account. It has to be all cash business. And those of you that grow cannabis know exactly what I'm talking about. Be careful what you ask for. Cannabis should have never been legalized. It should have been decriminalized. Right? Am I wrong about this? Let me get your opinion on this. And then I'll read you what is happening right now. Because they're not just peeking in your backyards about cannabis. They're finding other crimes. And in come the agents. And again, if you don't know who's coming through your door or onto your property, the first thing you're going to do is grab a gun, especially when you're not expecting anybody. And if it happens to be police on the other side, guess what? Oh, they'll just turn it into a standoff. Oh, he shot first. Am I right or wrong? Now, let me keep reading here. A little bit on fire today because, I just can't stand when people twist my words, right? Because they're doing it so that other people can't wake up to the truth. 3 residents filed a lawsuit this week against Sonoma County. Now, understand, oh, well, Casey, that's California. They deserve it. Well, guess what? Again, if it's happening here, it's going to happen to the rest of us. Pretty soon, drones will be flying over my house out near rural Arkansas. If I don't stand up for these people, even though I don't smoke cannabis, if I don't stand up for these people and their privacy, then when my privacy is gone, who's going to stand up for me? Correct? 3 residents filed a lawsuit this week against Sonoma County seeking to block code enforcement from using drones to take aerial images of their homes. Wow, the ACLU is actually doing their job here. But notice, because it's the liberals now and nobody's listening to the liberals, it has no teeth. Remember we used to always bag on the ACLU? Well, they're the only ones standing up for this runaway spying operation. And this is how the right-left paradigm works. They simply hand the football off back and forth. It's like watching the Super Bowl. The lawsuit filed by the ACLU Wednesday on behalf of 3 residents alleges that the county began using drones with high-powered cameras and zoom lenses in 2019 to track illegal cannabis cultivation. But in the year since, They've been using the devices more than 700 times to find, here are the key words, other code violations on private property without first seeking a warrant. Casey, come on, man. Trump just wanted to deregulate the drones so that, you know, so that we can have food delivery and stuff, and drones could fly out to the site of their operator and fly at night. That was just for us, for our convenience. Nope. It's for surveillance. So they could open up the law so they could do exactly what you're looking at here. Can you imagine? Middle of the night and there's a drone looking through your window and it's the government. I hope you're awake. Now, let's get into this decode. So over the past several months, as you know, we have been decoding films from 2012. Why 2012? Well, that was the year when Trump was 66 years old. And those film decodes unlocked so many more profound revelations that confirmed a bunch of our work. Let me give you an example of the movies that we decoded from 2012 when Trump was 66 years old. The first one was Brave. It was the animation, which was set in the standing stones of Callanish in Scotland, where his mother lived, 14 miles away. Then, and 77 degrees away as well. Then we decoded the Nazi Hollow Earth film, in which the Trump character literally says in the script that he made the flu and then so he could make the vaccine. And finally, the most recent 2012 film when Trump was 66 was Total Recall, that had Trump's present agenda all over it. It had the number 66s all over it as well, confirming everything. But this next film from 2012 just blew my mind. That's the one we're going to cover today. And I remember screening this years ago, right around the time I decoded the movie or the TV series, The OA, The Original Angels, with Brit Marling. But I took another look at it because it's from 2012. And by the way, tomorrow we will be doing another 2012 movie called Men in Black, which has Trump all over it as well. It's as if they knew he was coming and they knew what he was going to do all the way back then and far beyond then as well. But let's decode the sound of my voice. Now, this is crazy because the title is blasphemous, isn't it? Because in the film, there's a cult leader played by Brit Marling, who is from the Original Angel TV series. And in the movie, she claims to be a time traveler. Now, I say this is blasphemous because she literally tells her followers in one part of the movie, she tells them to be still, and hear her still small voice, which of course is blasphemy because only God said that. So here we go. Trump was 66 when this movie came out. There are 66s all over this film. There's even a lead character that literally has Trump's birthday. Literally his birthday. Let's take a look at these numbers. Now, there are 2 birthdays on 3/22. This character, Constance Wu, she plays one of the cult members. She was born on 3/22. 3 times 22 is 66. And then this is the cult member, Candace Stroh. Now, she is basically second in command. Her and another man are second in command under Brit Marling. So she's significant, right? And look at Candace Stroh's birthday. It's Donald Trump's birthday. And Joanne is the character, and her name means John, which is Trump's middle name. Now, the other second in command, the male version, just under Brit Marling, the cult leader, is this guy. And he was born on essentially the eve of 322, which is 321, of course. Again, 3 times 22 is 66. So like I said, this film had Trump all over it. Now, if you don't know, oh, Casey, that's not exact. It's one day off. This is what they do. And the reason why they do this is because in the Hebrew calendar, the days are different than our days, the way we count them. We count from midnight. They count from sundown and sunset. So this is why they do these one-off days. It also allows for some cognitive dissonance. If your heart is in the wrong place and you're trying to defend the very people that are exposed in these films, then this will give you just enough evidence to write all this off as coincidence. So this is why they do this. But let's keep watching here. Now, this woman is the one with Trump's birthday. Remember, she's second in command.
Produce grown by someone you've never met, sitting in trucks for weeks, sprayed with, I don't know, who knows what.
So she's growing produce underground because Brit Marling has to live in a basement because she's very sensitive to the elements, the outside, all microbes and organisms. She's sensitive to it, allergic to everything because she's from the future. And so this woman, basically second in command, grows the food underground. This is chilling. This is probably what they're doing right now, probably in Greenland.
You can eat these?
Of course you can, kiddo.
Now, at first I thought these were oranges, and then I had to go back and I'm like, no, those aren't oranges. Those are apples. So in other words, I tell you this because I'm not just trying to fit a narrative. I'm literally doing research, and I'm not here to give disinformation. I could have easily said, oh, those are oranges. Oh, that fits into the orange man. No, these are apples.
It's the grocery store you've got to be wary of.
Yeah, but these aren't exactly natural either.
Not true. She's allergic to absolutely everything in this time period. We'll be all right, though. Maggie's taking us to a safe place.
Maggie's taking us to a safe place. Now, Brit Marling plays the Maggie character. Maggie means pearl. I don't know what significance that might mean, but I looked up the name of the name Maggie. Where's this safe place all these people are going to, right? Now, this woman with Trump's birthday, we'll just call her the Trump archetype because there's always a Trump archetype in the film. You always find it. You'll see it in tomorrow's Decode too with Men in Black because Emma Thompson is the Trump archetype in Men in Black. She is now 66 years old. But in 2012, when Men in Black came out, Trump was 66 years old. So she becomes the Trump archetype. And there's so much more, you guys. I can't wait to show you tomorrow's show. But, okay, let's keep watching here.
But Maggie says when prices go up, people will start growing gardens in their garages.
Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. Did you hear that? People will start growing gardens in their garages. Now, we'll just call her She-Trump from now on. She's like the mentor of the females in the cult group is what she does. She mentors them. And she takes this woman out to show her how to shoot a gun. But what she doesn't know is that this woman and her husband, or boyfriend, I guess, are there to infiltrate the cult and to make a documentary. That's what they're there to do. So they're undercover. Now listen to what She-Trump says next. Because remember, Trump is a Gemini. He's the Janus. He's the two faces.
Okay, calm down. Trust Lorna.
Why do you have a gun? Joanne!
Hey,
This is weird, okay? I would just like to go.
okay. Push with the right hand, pull with the left.
Push with the right hand, pull with the left. That's exactly how they're manipulating everybody. The right-left paradigm.
Okay? Keeps you steady.
Keeps you steady. This is how they advance the agenda. They literally tell you in the movies. This is how they advance it. They pretend that there's Democrats and they pretend like there's Republicans. And this is the frustration. Oh, Casey, Trump's doing a good thing. He's rooting out All these illegals. Understand that's a cover to advance the technocracy. They're practicing.
Yeah, come from 54.
Now, at this point, we got to start from the beginning because I jumped ahead a little bit. So, this is Brit Marling, of course, and she introduces herself as a time traveler from the year 2054. But she was born in 2030. Now, to my shock, 2030 also appears in Men in Black 3 from the same year. They're both released in 2012. And you're going to see in tomorrow's Decode how I tie in the year 2030 to the film Men in Black. Two completely different films, different genres, yet there's a focus pointing forward to 2030 in both of these films. Let's take a look. Now, all the stuff behind her is oxygen because remember, she's like sick from going back in the past.
2054. Your future. See, the anchor is the sign of a traveler, and the number 54 refers to where I come from. I was born in...
Now, let's keep playing this here. Hold on, let me back this up. Sorry, guys.
I was born in 2030. You're asking me to tell you something that happens in 2010.
Now, let me check in with you guys because here's what makes the year 2054 so weird. And if you don't take anything else out of the decode today, listen very closely. When you subtract 66 years from 2054, it lands on 1988. Remember when we subtracted 88 days and 66 days from Trump's birthday and it landed on a double-digit day of the year in both cases? And it didn't do that anywhere else in the calendar? Remember that? Let's do it. We'll do it live. Let me show you. Something is happening here, you guys. This is insane. So, 6/14, Trump's birthday. We'll just put in 2025. We're going to subtract. Hold on. Get this going over here. Okay. We're going to subtract 66 days. Calculate the new date. What is the new date? Where is it? September 18th. What day of the year is September 18th? Wait, did I do that wrong? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, I put in 66. Let's do 88. I think it's 88. Sorry. Maybe it's... Oh, it's on add. That's why. Okay. There we go. You gotta subtract it. Okay. There we go. So his birthday, subtract 66 days. The date is March 13th. Ready? Spin the wheel. March 13th. Wait, did I do that wrong? Why is that not working? Maybe it's 88. I don't know why this isn't working, you guys. I'm doing something wrong. I have to figure it out. I'll go back to the video that we did the other day. But let's go back to this here. Now, this is crazy. Because this is the paradox. This is the paradox, the 8866 paradox. Now, one of the cult members asks her to provide some proof that she is from the future. He asks her to sing a song from the future, and she chooses the Cranberries' Dream Song.
It's never quite as it seems, 'cause you're a dream to me.
I mean no disrespect, but that song, you know, I'm sure you know, is by the Cranberries.
So here's the song, which released one day after, with 88 days left in the year. 10/4 has 88 days left in the year. One day after that, which leaves 87 days left in the year. But you get what they were getting at here, because 88 is the time travel number.
I mean, if you were going to pick a song to be from the future, why would it be Dreams by the Cranberries?
Those are the two undercover. Now, I'll put a link to the decode that we did, in which I showed you subtracting the birthday code of Donald Trump. I don't know why it's not working right now. Probably the site messing with me. But I'll put a link to that in the pinned comment so you could see it for yourself and how we did that. There's something weird about his birthday. Now, here's the slam dunk. Remember, this all pivots around the year 2054. That's the year she says she was from. And that is 42 years after the film released. In real life, from 2012 to 2054 is 42 years. And guess how old Brit Marling is right now? 42. So it's happening right now, isn't it? It's happening right now. This is the Matrix, you guys. Now, tomorrow, another Trump 66 film, Men in Black 3, which released when Trump was 66 years old. It's all about a monument that is aligned to 66 degrees in Corona Park, the Unisphere Globe. Here's the monument. I'll show you the trailer. Here's the monument, 66 degrees alignment, the Unisphere Globe. Emma Thompson is in the film. She plays the Donald Trump archetype. She is now 66 years old. So, there's something going on, isn't there? Let me show you the trailer for tomorrow's show, and then we'll break all this down. The Golden Dome is in this film. All of it.
Cool for you. What do you need from me, man?
The device. I'm going back in time to kill a man before he takes my arm.
Bill Gates. Lady Gaga.
Heroic action, including implementation of the ArcNet defense system, which protected the Earth from a Bogladite invasion and led to the race's extinction.
There is no K. Chocolate milk relieves temporal fracture headaches.
What's a temporal fracture?
A break in the timeline.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Time travel. Time travel.
Put up the ArcNet.
The what?
The ArcNet, the defense system. Kay got it specifically for the Bogladites. Shield.
It's the surprise. To protect the Earth, it's the shield.
Arcanan, ArcNet. That's what you did. You put up the ArcNet.
How did I do that?
The ArcNet. Give it to me.
I don't think this is the one where you get it now.
You're right there, Chief.
The ArcNet is the Golden Dome.
When you're being hunted by Boris the animal, you get good at hiding things.
The mark in the forehead and the right hand.
It's just one small step. to do is deploy it.
You mean in space? Well, how do you suppose we do that? Canaveral, Apollo launch.
And literally, Donald Trump is playing out science fiction in our timeline. It's incredible. So, look, apologies for that, the calendar thing. I don't know what went on with that. Sometimes the sites glitch. It's happened to me before. I do a calculation and then it doesn't work. But I'll put a link so you can confirm it yourself. The bizarre Donald Trump birthday paradox, I guess you can call it. So what are your guys' thoughts on all this? And then that's about all I had for you guys today. Yeah, please like and share the video. The Gemini space missions. That's a great question. I'll have to look into that. I don't know the answer to that. I know we did do some kind of decode on that, but it was very, very brief. About the Gemini, something about maybe it being in the ocean when it came back to Earth. I can't remember exactly what we said about that, but it's been so long that I can't remember. But that's a great question. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks. I appreciate that. It's a lot of information to keep straight, isn't it? But who would have known that 2012 was such a huge year? Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Kim. All right. Cape Canaveral was renamed Cape Kennedy. Wow. Yeah, I think I did do that decode on Gemini. I can't remember though. Okay, you guys, I'll put links to everything in the pinned comment. I love you guys. And let's see. Yeah, Christy said, "Can you do a poll now? So if people hit the like and it doesn't work." Okay, let's do that. That's great. Since we have everybody here. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Start a poll. So there's 658 people. Okay. Let's just do this because this will tell us who's watching, right? Did you thumbs up the video today? And did it work? Okay. Now, let's try that. Now, I know there are a lot of people that watch this channel that never log in to YouTube, right? For various reasons. And so I get that. So if you're not logged in, you're not going to be able to thumbs up a video, right? So maybe that's part of it. But we typically get like most people don't ever thumbs up the video. I mean, look, we've got 600. We pretty much have the same size group every day, about 600 people max. And we only ever get maybe 200 thumbs up. So like a third of the people are not thumbsing up the video. Now there's a couple possible explanations for that. One of them is that there's a whole group of people out there that watch the live shows that aren't in the chat, that aren't, they're like, I don't even know what to tell you guys. Sometimes I wonder if there's like this room of people and they're like, they are with the occult and they're watching us, right? And they're trying to figure out how accurate this is, or maybe they're using this as some kind of teaching mechanism. Like maybe I'm explaining it better than they even explain it to themselves of how they run our world through the right-left paradigm and through encoding the predictive programming of movies and all this stuff. And you have to wonder, don't you? How is it that all of you show up every day and we only ever get maybe 200 of you that like the video? That to me, that's just a little bit weird. And it's not that a lot of people are thumbing down the videos, because as I showed you, there's a 99% a thumbs up rating on most of our daily shows. So out of 1,000 people that might thumbs it up over time, only 10 of them thumbs it down. So it's not like people aren't liking the video. It's just that there's no opinion on it. There's no engagement. So either that or the thumbs up button's not working and YouTube's doing something weird on that front. So I don't know the answer, you guys, but it is a little bit spooky. So let's see. So I'm ending the poll, and look at this. See, only 148 people voted, yet we have almost 650 people. Where are the rest of the people? What are your guys' thoughts on that? So it's just 148 people in the chat. Now you can say, oh, they're away. They're just listening in, or I don't know, but it's consistent every single day. It's just weird to me. So I don't know what's going on, you guys. Your content is scary. Well, there's no need for fear if you believe in the Most High. We're telling you the truth so you can prepare and so you don't fall for all of the tricks and traps. To me, what's more scary is going through life thinking that Donald Trump cares about our country, or thinking that Republicans and Democrats hate each other. To me, that's more scary, because you don't know what they're going to do next. They could come out and, oh, we're going to, you guys, we are on the precipice now. As soon as RFK Jr. says, oh, we've done all the studies and the vaccines are safe. Well, guess what? They've got the force in place now to enforce if they wanted to do mandatory, right? On the next go around, if there is a next go around. That's what they're practicing on the illegals with: tracking and tracing, infiltrating house to house, the AI algorithms. Like I said, today it's them. Tomorrow it could be, if you don't get a vaccine, they could come after you. Right? So I don't get it. It's weird, but it is what it is. I mean, I appreciate the viewers. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. Our group never grows. It never grows above like 600. Heck, a couple years, 4 or 5 years ago, we'd have 1,100 people watching, 900 people watching. I know a lot of people went back to work after the pandemic, so a lot of people don't have time to watch, and I get that. Or they'll watch later. I understand that. That makes sense to me. But this lack of engagement is a little bit weird. Like, I don't know what's going on there. It's just, there's probably about 150 of you in the chat, but then there's a whole group that's playing our live show that's not here. They're not thumbsing up. They're not doing anything. They're just watching. That's so weird. So, too intellectual. Well, I try to make it simple, you guys. I try to make it simple. I'm not that smart of a person. Literally, my show notes are like 500 words. It sounds complex, but it's really not. It's all patterning. It's patterning. And once you see the patterns, then you begin to understand what's really happening. You'll see more patterns tomorrow that repeat. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, you guys. Much love.